This is one of those days. I'm running out of time today. I thought I'd quickly get the flight in before the light completely goes kaput. I was actually planning to working on transferring all the stuff from the old hard drive to a new one, because that old one sounds like it's pretty much going to be done soon anyways. Because I noticed, again, every time I transfer files like the videos, even just by doing the editing, sometimes the files get corrupted. That's usually a sign, better replace the thing. But one thing is, because this new one I'm trying to transfer to is 4 terabytes, the system doesn't automatically recognize a 4 terabyte drive, so you gotta repartition it. It's not cloning properly, so I gotta check it out. But then I was thinking, if I do that for too long, then I won't be able to fly, so I'm gonna try doing the flying and stuff first, at least just to get some practice in for the day. I thought I'd try that a little bit more too, just going through some objects. Like I said, computers and stuff, I don't have an issue opening it up. I'm comfortable with those. I'm not comfortable with like cracking open a drone or stuff yet. Also read some interesting stuff of cops using a drone to catch people. Kind of made me wonder whether or not, again, it's going to be more kind of mainstream as the year comes, whether or not people accept that for people like police officers to use drones. Well, like I said, it's one thing to fly through the close objects and stuff. It's another thing to try to keep your camera and stuff steady to try to get that right shot. I was always curious about this thing because I did this last time for you guys in terms of seeing the heat. I notice sometimes you notice where it's kind of black on that part of the Mavic there. Funny enough, that's where I notice sometimes if I fly it during the fog time, that's where a little bit of the condensation kind of comes out. Kind of funny because I thought it would be more along the hot areas where the moisture and stuff would build up usually. Not a good idea, of course. That's why I usually fly it faster in those conditions. But if I had the right setup, what I was curious about is, since people always say things like it uses up more batteries if you leave it floating, it makes me wonder if this thing gets hotter at certain parts when you start flying like turns and all that. I think that would be kind of neat, but I don't have the actual setup right now to actually do that. That's still one of the things I hopefully will get the opportunity to do, is follow something like a fast racing car. I think that would be really cool in terms of just to see how well my skill is in terms of trying to film that fast stuff. Funny enough, in terms of flying through these things, I find it's actually easier to go fast to go through them as opposed to going really slow and steady. I don't know, maybe it's just because of the wind. I guess it's more predictable in that way or something like that. Some quick stuff that caught my attention today. This one says, "Cop used drone to capture gunman." I was like, wow, what is this? Is it just a title, or did they go after someone with a gun, for example, like running in the streets? It says, "A drone was used by police officers to capture 2 men who attempted to flee the scene of a shooting in Tunapuna," if that's how you can pronounce it, "on Thursday evening." It said they responded to a shooting, and a black Nissan with 3 occupants was seen leaving the scene, and the officers, led by the inspector and so forth, intercepted it. As it goes on, it says they got out of the vehicle, the suspects, and they ran into a bushy area. That's so typical, isn't it? When I see that usually in the news, they always try to run into the bushes and stuff like that. But I guess because of the drone, they were able to catch them pretty easily. And it says here they used a Dragonfly 3. I'm wondering, like, what is this Dragonfly 3? Is it one of those huge ones? I think it was a big one when I was thinking of Dragonfly. Funny enough, as I tried to look this up, Dragonfly 3, this was the first thing that popped up. I'm like, okay, this is not right. What is this? Healthcare reimagined. I tried to find it, actually. I don't know why, but I think this was the one, based on what I've seen people doing reviews. The WL Toys Q696. I don't know, people were calling this a Dragonfly 3 too, unless I'm mistaken. I just quickly looked at it before I left. But it's kind of interesting to see people use these kind of drones. And again, it made me wonder whether or not more police officers will have this. And the funny thing about this, because it says the price is $176, it reminded me of this story that I read just a few days ago in Canada. It's a general story about tax increase. It says Thunder Bay taxes slated to go up by 2.9%. And part of the budget, according to this, was they wanted to buy a drone for the police force that had things like a thermal camera. But it says here, drone for Thunder Bay police for $95,000, which includes thermal camera. What drone costs $95,000 that the police would use in that case? Like in this example, if they can use a $176 drone, holy cow, what are you getting for that price? Or is this one of those situations where it's a government contract, the company just goes, okay, they have the budget, spend it, and we'll build you something like that. Wow, I'd rather buy like a whole fleet of drones for that price with the thermal camera. I mean, can't you imagine how many of these $176 drones you can give the whole force? Then again, is that why people wouldn't want them as well? Because they're still kind of iffy about police officers using drones? Even from most videos I've seen in terms of police using drones, they've mostly been things like Phantoms. At that price, what are you getting? I don't even think a Matrice, like those high-end industrial ones, even cost that much. This is like crossing the line to something like military-ish, I would imagine. Okay, time's running tight today. Here's what I just captured there. All right, see you guys later.